We're here. Here we go. Let's get this going. It is Friday. It is time for the viewer suggestion. Let's make sure our audio is working. We look good. Put this over here. Put this over here. Get the Discord set up. And I think we're good. I think we are good. We were doing the viewer suggestion. We have a pretty good list today. I'm going to start out with the rugby, and then we're just going to get into it. I don't think I'll get everything on the list done today. I could if we go really fast, but we're just going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it, and we're going to see what happens. Goes rugby. It's like melty rugby. I don't know what I've done here. I'm so tired. I do want to do this more. I want to draw the entire, like, the silhouette first. Which is much more akin to doing traditional painting. I just kind of want to see what happens if we do that. Nebby, welcome in. How are you today? Hope you are well. What should we get about Rugby's feather? I don't know what I'm doing today. I'm losing my mind already. Losing my mind already. Got a fire going. I got some peanuts. Hopefully it'll be a good day. No music. It's just going to be straight cricket clacking sounds. I love it. What does Rugby look like if he looks down? Rugby used to have teeth. I don't draw Rugby with teeth anymore. I wonder when that happened. I'm getting excited for Halloween. I need to make a hat and a mask and a shirt. I have all the cloth for it. I just haven't done it yet. But that's going to be fun. I think that'll be a good project. Do 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 do. I'm gonna jump into it. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Do you prefer wizards or sorcerers? I think wizards. Sorcerers are cool. Don't get me wrong. I guess it depends on if we're talking about like playing them in D&D. Sorcerers are much simpler, and I like the concept of like innate magic. Innate magic is great. But I also feel like sorcerers could really be a subclass. Because, like, if you're a barbarian that's a sorcerer, everything should make your magic stronger. Every push-up you do should make your magic stronger. Whereas a wizard, he's a cool person that has learned magic, which is awesome. So, but not a barbarian. So, I also think you could be a sorcerer. Oops. That goes to school and becomes a wizard. So once again, I just think that sorcerer really should be a race, not a class. What is going on? There we go. Mew. I'll shrink down those rugbies and put them over here. Pull up the list. The way we do this is if you have a suggestion, you can put it in the chat, put it on a list, roll some dice. Dice gods decide what we draw. We go from there. So, there we go. Dragonborn paladin who is cursed, who wears a cursed sentient armor, pushes him to act harshly for those you would help before. Interesting. So a cursed armor riding a paladin that makes him do bad things. Rules agnostic here. Do you prefer your swords and sorcery to be strictly medieval? Or do you have more set dressings you enjoy exploring? I like the medieval fantasy vibe, but I think Pathfinder has a good system for it. It doesn't feel like people are peasants. It's just like, I think the part of the thing with the medieval chic stuff is it always feels a little downtrodden, a little authoritative, maybe because you have a monarchy. I think the world would have evolved differently with magic in it. So I think things like guns and cars and like flying machines and things could have all equally had evolved. But when you have magic and different pieces in there and all the monsters that exist, I think things would be a little more rugged. So yeah, I don't know. Would TVs still exist nowadays if magic had been discovered 2,000 years ago? I generally go with the medieval vibe because I like swords. But I have no problem with throwing a spaceship or lasers in there somewhere. It works out just fine. Okay, Dragonborn, Paladin, sentient armor. I feel like I should just draw this guy kill style. Final Fantasy is a kind of cool way to look at it. It's still very medieval-y vibe. Cottage chic. But it has like future tech and stuff in it, right? More advanced technology than we have. I think that's totally fine. God, how different would the world be if social media hadn't come about? All these little things change us. I remember the Reign of Winter adventure path for Pathfinder 1 had the players eventually go to Russia in World War I and go after Rasputin. It was wild. Yeah. Yeah, fantasy is a very I think, nondescript timeline. It doesn't matter what time it's taking place in, so long as the things you're doing make sense in the world, right? The real question is, are humans on Galarian or on Faerun actual humans? That's the real question. Maybe they're crabs. Yeah, maybe they're just humans, just so we we what's the word I'm looking for? We jive better with them, but really they're all crabs. I've always been a big fan of like the Conan the Barbarian mentality of, sure, it looks medieval-esque, or He-Man is another great way to look at it, but really it's like thousands of years in the future where the apocalypse already happened. Now you're just dealing with the weird shit. That's always been the weird thing about, like, sure, science it can exist. There's no reason science can't exist in D&D. But do you need to like spend time advancing medical research when you can just cure all diseases with a spell? Or do you need to invent gunpowder when you could just enchant the bullets to, project? Why hasn't magic just replaced those things? It can still be a novelty for sure, but a lot of spells were designed to mimic things that we already have, which I think is great. Message spell, instead of a walkie-talkie. And I say walkie-talkie because of the time it was made. We need more iPhone spells. Utility magic is solely underrated. Yeah, I agree. Like, think about how fast we got rid of like horses and buggies when cars were invented. You're telling me if we had magic, we'd still be driving around in cars? I definitely do think there's a place to talk about, like, well, not everyone has access to magic. And that's really all about your setting, right? So that's fine. But in a world where magic exists, what do you need? What don't you need? Okay. I did the opposite of the thing I said I was going to do. Just draw the whole silhouette. Pierce Anatomy had Pierce Anatomy, okay. World where they had both cars would advertise having AC, where flying carpets would brag about avoiding traffic. That's pretty good. I think the weirdest thing is like the guilds. Adventuring guilds are great story devices for getting people to play adventures, but like don't make a lot of sense in the grand scheme of things. But then again, maybe they're just more like an Uber. An Uber Eats than anything else. I have fetch quest. Please go do. You got it. I will go buy some bread from the store for you. It's not always the case, but I like any sentient thing to have a face, even if it doesn't use it. I'm gonna go and log in this bad boy up. They definitely work more for post-apocalyptic context where you have more ruins full of gubbins than do proper cities. Yeah. I mean, the other alternative, which I think is smart, is like the cyberpunk, right? Like, when you want to look at something that is our world, like the three main power vacuums that we have to deal with because magic doesn't exist is basically like the companies that give people power, which would be the robot, like the robotics companies, the government, which is probably in the pocket of the robot companies, and then like the people with physical power, right? So the people with the most badass tech, which is also the tech companies. So like I think you can kind of adapt that to anything. So when you're looking at fantasy worlds, you can do who has magic, who's controlling the magic, and who's controlling the town guards, the local guards. I like the one with the big robots. Yeah. Where does the power lie? And then it really doesn't matter, right? Like as long as you're figuring out those story points, you can do any setting you want. It just falls into place pretty easily. Whether it's mob bosses or giant robot factories, it all works out. I've actually had a lot of fun with some of my players where they'll make assumptions like, hey, this is a medieval environment. It's like, is it? What makes you think that? And they're like, I don't know. I just kind of thought that way. Like, sure, you can buy a torch, but also, why not buy glow sticks? Glow sticks exist in Pathfinder. I think they work a lot better. Can't light things on fire with them, but more people should have glow sticks in real life. That's all I'm saying. Glow sticks are great. Problem is, once you turn them on, they're on. So, cell phones are definitely better, but What are people doing for Halloween this year? Costume ideas? Parties? I'm open. I'm open to discuss. Glow in the dark yarn. I've heard about this glow in the dark yarn. We were looking at that the other day. That sounds pretty awesome. Ooh, 10, 15 years ago there was a Kickstarter. They were trying to make like highly efficient glow in the dark bags. Like just malleable bags of glow in the dark stuff. And I bought into it. It was really cool, but never quite as bright as I always wanted it to be. They were like, oh, just bring a UV light with you camping, and then you can keep your glow-in-the-dark lit. It's like, if I'm going to bring a UV light, I'm just going to bring a flashlight. Like, what? Why would I do that? It just feels like an extra step. Do historical reenactments, so I just take the same outfit and use it every time. Nice. Turning every dungeon into a rave with glow sticks. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I do that all the time. It's great. I was Link for about 10 years in a row because I made like a really good Link costume. And I was just like, well, I have it. Might as well wear it. So. Then one of my friends whose name was actually Link, which was really funny. I think his name was Lincoln, but we called him Link. He discovered I had this costume. He's like, oh my god, I love that. Can I buy that from you? And I was like, yes. I'm a hungry college student. I take money. I've yet to rebuild my shield, sword and shield, which I should. I absolutely should. I used to watch Over the Garden Wall every Halloween, but it's on Disney Plus now. It's hard to find elsewhere. Interesting. That is a great series. I'll have to see if I can find somebody with access to Disney Plus. A lot of the people I know got rid of it because they were like, yeah, fuck Disney. So. Not that I give a shit about Jimmy Kimmel, but I don't suffer a tyrant, so I'm fine with them not having it anymore. I'm not going to argue for that. Hit him where it hurts, right in the dystopia. I think that might be the checks and balances for magic, right? It's like, is there magic that some people can't do? Yes or no? And if there isn't, like all magic is learnable, then like you're borderline free energy society, right? Like, but if you have people hiding how magic works, ooh, dystopian. The Catholic Church just selling religion. Star Trek replicas are just wizards in boxes. Exactly. Yep. Space wizards. Is that the link? Is that the link between Star Wars and Star Trek? Whether or not their wizards are in boxes or not. I love that the Jedi are described as space wizards. Also technically sorcerers. Born with the Force. Have to learn how to use it. I would love to describe somebody's magical powers by midichlorians. Let's see how many midichlorians you have. Just to mess with people. I know people that would make them very mad. I want to make him a little more cursed. I'm not sure how to do that. Brian, welcome in. If all magic is learned, why need classes? Sorcerers should just be Constitution, I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. Sorcerers should be a race. They used to do things that made that make more sense. Like the Drow had lots of racial magic. Same thing with like fairies, fey creatures had racial magic. Dragons still do, technically, but I think they want you to take levels in dragon. Like an ancient dragon is technically like a level 18 dragon that just has racial magic based on their stuff. But I think that's a good system. I think that's a really fun system. And like, yeah, humans are going to be underpowered because that's kind of the point. Like, I'm okay with that kind of like racial disparity. That doesn't sound right. Like that kind of like power vacuum, right? If you're playing a magic-based creature, yeah, you're probably going to have different bonuses than someone else. But like humans getting extra feet used to be a big thing to kind of balance that out. It's like, yeah, you have the potential to learn more skills than a Fae would, because a Fae is just relying on their magic nonstop. I think that's great. The Divine Arcane split is another question often worth prodding, I think. Yeah, I agree. Especially with the amount of gods out there. Like, Nathis is the god of magic and destruction. Or knowledge and magic, which I think is great. Creation and destruction. And then if you look at that versus, like, a druidic god, they're kind of doing the same stuff. It's pulling from different places. I think like the split now between like positive and negative energy used to be a lot cooler, but it got conflicting when you were like playing with necromancy, right? It's like, is this technically you're helping or harming someone, but really you're just manipulating someone's flesh, which is weird. So who knows? That's for the philosophers to figure out the morality of spellcraft. That could be a fun character to play, actually. Okay, we're going to make him look a little more unhappy with his choices. Darken up his eyes. Give him a few more scars. It's funny how 2nd edition Pathfinder is like an elf who lived 1,000 years who got a second feet, and D&D is like simple human. Yeah, exactly. Humans have to live really fast. That's why we're great. Any sci-fi you watch says humans are solely alone in the universe for being able to like think flexibly and love. Humans are highly adaptable because they have such short lives, whereas elves will just be stuck in their ways for millennia. It would be kind of fun to run a campaign where the benefit of humans is that you can have kids, like, very quickly. Just run them like bunnies. Ah, Greco, let's go. Greco is my dad. What? When did that happen? Like 10 years ago? How long have you been in the party? About 5 years? I was wondering where you went. Hey guys, I'm going to need like 10 years to sit down and have a family. Okay, cool. I got my backup characters ready. Here we go. Mayflies, yeah. You'd become a lich to keep the dungeon raves going. I once made a campaign based around the NSP song Ultimate Sandwich. It was really funny, and my friends hated it. It was great. But there was eventually a point where I ran into a whole bunch of kobolds just having a rave in the middle of this dungeon. And I thought it was really funny. They were worshipping the unicorn wizard. I think we need more teeth. I am the unicorn wizard. Da, 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 da. Pure-blooded humans were the minority. Basically, the human empire collapsed, and the survivors all fled surviving races' powers to get by. Tiefling, SMR, half-orc. Nice. Yeah, that sounds fun. Have you... There's a... Zach Speaks Giant clip of someone talking about the dwelves. Like, if you have a dwelf, which is a dwarf and an elf, it's like you get the worst parts of everybody. They're like, that's just a human. That's just a human. Humans are just elves and dwarf offspring. It became their own thing. I actually don't know where humans come from in the Tolkien universe. Because, like, the Numenorians were elves that chose to be mortal. But, like, humans existed before that. The mermaid, yeah, the mermaid minotaur setup, just a guy. It's perfect. Orc elves, huh? That sounds pretty awesome. Or are you talking about the Tolkien? Twisted elves become orcs. Because I like that too. I like that too. I like the Warcraft aspect of that, where orcs are essentially just outer plane humans. Then dwarves and goblins, not dwarves and goblins, gnomes and goblins are just like from... If you had two different universes, you have like the human universe where everything's pink and smooth. And then you have the orc universe where everything's green and has tusks. And so it's just like they're just counterparts to each other. And then the elves. What was the elves? Oh, trolls. Elves and trolls, right? Like they interject each other. Or, yeah, D&D orcs being split with half coming through a portal is weird lore. Yeah, I mean, a lot of D&D lore is weird. So I'm not super worried about it in the end. I am the unicorn wizard. Oh man, that song's stuck in my head all day now. That's some old school Ninja Sex Party. Put the Triforce on there just for fun. You can't put the Triforce on there. It's just triangles. It's just triangles. Weird lore is fun, yeah. I agree. I used to have a bunch of people come in here and talk about the gnome lore. The gnome gods are super weird. Slavic, if you haven't put a suggestion down this week, you're allowed to. Yeah, you can put one in the chat if you want. Order of the Paw Cavalier riding a dire platypus. Ooh. Normally we only do either a person or the animal because it's 2, but we'll see what we can do. I'll put it on the list for you. The Nomonomicon. Oh, is this your suggestion, Christopher? Look him in, by the way. Yeah, no problem. All right, I think I'm done with this. Let's drag him away. Oh, was that drawing really small? I'm sorry. I could have drawn that much bigger. Oh well. Rolling the dice. A skeleton, Grung Blood Hunter, that was etched similarly to those found on the Day of the Dead skeletons on his bones, and a faint blue ectoplasm replacing what was once flesh. Okay. Skeletal ooze frog. Do you want to see the platypus? Yeah, seriously. Oh, just any platypus, huh? I feel like Druid might have drawn this already once. Hope Druid's doing okay. Haven't heard from them in a little while. Frog skeletons are super weird. Let's look up some reference. Let's get some frog skeleton reference. Yep, kind of what I thought. Mostly air. Frog skeletons are like nothing. They just don't exist. You heard it here first. Frogs don't exist. The frogs and the birds. Just give to a paladin player. It's either being lawful stupid, good boy, or stick in the mud and push them to really do action. I gotcha. Okay, so the armor forces them to not be lawful stupid. I kind of dig that. You must choose. I actually have been discovering that it's been helping me a lot while I've been DMing. Is sometimes giving your players less choice is very helpful, and giving them more of a like suggestive push, like, oh, you have to choose one of these two things. What are you doing? And it works for some people. You went to a museum and you were able to guess all the skulls. Nice. I used to draw a lot more skulls on stream. I don't know what happened. I just like drawing skulls. It's fun. It was a crutch. It was a crutch for a long time, though. Not sure what to do. Add a skull. Shoot, I don't remember what this was supposed to be now. Blood Hunter. Got it. Okay. So the bones themselves need etches. Need etches. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Day of the Dead? Yeah. That's kind of a fun idea. Skeleton being a blood hunter. Which is etch stuff into the bone. Dig that. Need like a sunflower over here. Or Nebby, were you asking what the Day of the Dead was? There's not a lot of space here because there's not a lot of frog bone. We'll have to figure something else out. I guess we could put them on the neck too. Elliot, welcome in. discovered the frog has weird eyes that I don't know if frog eyes actually have. I don't know why they did it this way. Well, there's slits. There are sideways slits. Okay. Glow-stick guys would be an interesting tree. I'm telling you, sun rods are the way to go. Always carry a few with you. Excuse me. Oh my. There is a Green Lantern version of... Is it Guy? Might not be Guy. I think it's the other guy one. It might be Guy Gardner. Who gets ripped in half, and he uses the ring to remake his whole body. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now. It's like... The skeleton just remakes his body with ectoplasm. Summons a new body. And that's kind of dope. How do you handle, if ever decided to, mass combat at your tables? Skill-based is... Inspiration, wading into the fray, narrative roles. If you're doing like full-on large combat, you can do things like troop combat, or there are rules for, I think they're called troops, where essentially you have giant groups of people fighting each other, and it's just a numbers game. Instead of rolling to hit, you basically like roll for damage, and so like that way they dwindle every round. I've done that in the past, which works out pretty well. I've also done skill-based things where people will, like, how are you aiding this group? And then based on what they do, you give them bonuses or not. And that's just straight hit points again. So it's like, once again, you're not rolling to hit. You're just like, oh, you're going to cast a spell? Cool. That's going to knock off a bunch of hit points off the other party. And then they'll roll their damage for your team. I try to fast track it as much as possible. This is probably the best way to say it. Whoa, that's a lot of text. What am I looking at here? Brad, welcome back, by the way. Fleet integrity looks like a piece of burlap. I'm a little confused. Frog tongue made of slime. Yeah, I mean like ectoplasm, right? Just let the pseudopod roll. You basically just playing a ooze at this point with a skeleton frame, which would be super fun. I would definitely allow it on my table. The slime frog. I think I'm about done with this one. I could give him a whole bunch more stuff, but at the end of the day, I think there might just be a bit of unnecessariness to it. Let's see what we do if we do color dodge. Nope, wrong way. Color burn? No, that's bad too. Yeah, that's fine. Then we're gonna do one more layer so we can get some white goo on here. All jello substances need to have shiny goo. Just a little bit. You have an idea for a game? Gotcha, okay. I thought this was something for a troop combat. Making games has never been easier than it is right now. So I'd suggest doing it if you feel like it. But they are a lot of work. And that's okay. Alright, don't froggy here. Yep, so that just doesn't work. I can't select multiple layers either. Weird. Okay. That'll work. Got it. Okay. Pew. Froggo. That's a cool character concept. Hard to draw. You checked out Critical Role campaign for it? I haven't. I have the link to go watch it. I haven't watched it yet. Transparency, there's a black magic employed by art wizards. A little bit, yeah. Sounds like a poppet. Yeah, I mean, technically that's a way to do it too. If you're just a slime character with a skeletal body. All right, rolling dice. 2. Big burly half-orc barbarian brawler with a skull chest tattoo. Turning into a werebear. People keep telling me about Westmarch style games, and I don't know anything about them. It always makes me think of Diablo. Oh, the boy is awake. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Westmarch can be summoned up an open world D&D. Lots of exploration, player-driven narratives, and its concrete storyline crafted by the team. Okay. Some get truly massive with multiple GMs all cooperating and run a vast prison world. Oh, nice. Okay. I think that might be too loud. Yep, I think it's too loud. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Well, chat doesn't play well with others. Wait, what is Price saying? What do you mean chat doesn't play well? What? Boom, 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 boom. Big thing which needs to happen for the good West March game is a half-baked opinion. In my half-baked, is a good session management, so you can finish each story without. Yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean, it sounds like a little bit like we used to do Pathfinder Society games, where the game is just essentially the guild, right? The guild is full of playable characters and adventures, and so you can swap out players all the time. You can have as many players as you want. Everyone can take turns DMing. It's very fluid, and it's just a huge world and a huge scope. Okay, skull on his chest? Like actual skull, or is it a tattoo? Or is it a tattoo? Skull tattoo. The chest. I was gonna try to make the hair kind of like poofy. Can you tattoo like? This is not a me saying it's okay to do this. If you tattoo a dog, I assume you just wouldn't see it, right? What happens if you tattoo the top of your head? Nothing. It's just covered by hair, right? So I think we're gonna have to like discolor the hair. Veterinarians do not veterans. Wait. Correct. Vets use tattoos would make incisions and sutures, etc. Oh, interesting. What about vets? I assume we don't tattoo our vets. Too. For any reason like that. Why do we tattoo dogs like that? I saw a thing about someone had a hairless cat, and so the vet put a little tattoo on them of a heart instead of just a line because they knew they were gonna have to put an incision there when they got them fixed. It's like, why not just not tattoo them? Do you need to like come back and know where the suture was or something? I guess that way you know whether or not the cat's been spayed or neutered. They have the scars already, or like the incision tattoo. I'm not super happy with his head. I bet I can do better. I think I can do better. I made him look like a teddy bear, not a werebear. Blah. Idea for the game is that you make a community that needs to travel from one galactic arm to another. All the characters are generated from either your community values or from those you find between the stars. So is this like Oregon Trail, but in space? Different values can mean different things, so different natural skills. Anytime you can make the skill roll, the game forces you to make an NPC called an expert to make the roll. Okay. So is the gameplay just encountering things and rolling for it, or is it team building? Is that a board game or a computer game? What are you thinking? Or is this a D&D variant? All are viable. Not any of those who operate on war dogs. Yeah, I bet not. Just a human fighter to the list. Just a human fighter. It's on the list. It's like Oregon Trail meets Battlestar Galactica vibes wise. Nice. A co-op RPG if you write it right. Sure. Rah, 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 rah. Do you know anything about this new YouTube XP thing? I don't. I've known a couple people, like, the more you type in chat, the more you interact, you get higher rating, but I don't really know exactly how it works. One magic system that was interesting in game was using literal folk magic. Okay. Looking at your cat to predict the weather, feeding them corn or the rooster to catch a criminal. That's kind of fun. I bet a lot of the game mechanics could be utilized normally, and then you just flavor it to make sense. Yeah, like I don't see why you couldn't do that. That could be a really fun way to interpret like a what's the word? Current time game. That's not the right word. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Present day. There we go. Present day game. Made it wonderful, challenging as the DM and the players as it could roll successfully, and I need to know how the cat would act given the weather. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would be really fun. Had to figure out what a cat battling a pinecone meant. That's great. Urban fantasy. Yeah, urban fantasy would be really fun. It's like a killer Care Bear. I think so. I think that is what we're drawing. I think I've been tricked. Got a little inspired from playing Citizen Sleeper. I think the YouTube chat XP is tied to your new hype system. Is there a hype system? What can I do? Let's see what I can do here. I can look at top chats. I can look at top fans. Nebi currently tied with Slavic at 150 XP. I'm not sure how that happened. I can start a members only stream. I can start a poll. Those are the things I can do. I can give myself super chats. And I can spam the heart emoji. Yeah, they don't give us a lot of, like, hey, here's the things we're doing. And this is how they work. I should probably look into that and see if there's anything I need to be doing as a content creator. Okay. What time is it? It's 2:30, almost. Having the challenges of these features is knowing that which one is actually stick around, I reckon. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I think we can probably do one more drawing here. I think I got time for one more. The boy is up and awake, watching cartoons, but I don't want him to be doing that all day, so we could probably try. I feel like I got a little bit of a late start today. Trying to get the boy to go to sleep more easily, and he is, I don't know if he's teething or just hates napping, but it's rough. So I've been pushing the stream back a little bit to try to give him more time to wind down before I put him down for a nap. Trying to figure out the best spot so my microphone doesn't pick up the TV. Otherwise, I will be demonetized very quickly. Very, very quickly. That elevates respect. I hope so. Trying to work and care for the boy, but it's tough. It's tough to do both. They are constantly at odds. Okay, I'm gonna call this one good just because I don't know what else to do with this giant bear man. So I feel like I can make his head way bigger. I feel like his head is too small. Maybe we'll try that. Maybe we'll try making his head a little bigger here. And then we'll call it. Bloop. That feels better to me. And then we'll just give his whole upper body a glow up here. All right, there we go. I think that's good. I realize now I've drawn all my characters facing the same way today. Oh, whoops. All right, here we go. Roll some dice. Don't have an aid. Order of the Paw Cavalier riding a dire platypus. Order of... What? Order of the Paw Cavalier. Is it a platypus riding a platypus? Simplify at all costs. Yeah. Maybe we'll just do a full set of armor here. platypus. I like where this is going, but it's not quite right. I'm gonna try that one more time. I just realized how derpy platypuses look. They're like turtles, but they're furry. They're furry turtles. Designed by committee, I swear. Yeah, probably. What's more likely, a platypus or an owlbear? That's a good question. Platypuses technically only exist in Australia, right? So, I don't know if Galarian is on Australia. Drop bears are in the game, so platypus maybe. I think drop bears are in the game. Watching them run, I should look that up because that sounds awesome. I wanted to like ring wraith this guy on top of a platypus. I think it'd be really funny. Look at this. That's pretty great. One ring to rule them all. One ring to bind them. I think I gotta do it. I gotta make it more derp. When in doubt, more derp. I'm not sure how this works, but it works now. It's too hunched. It's too hunched. It should just look like a dude. But now it looks like a dude like sitting inside of a platypus. There we go. He just needs knees. Little boots. We'll give him little feet. Let's stick little feet out of here. When in doubt, go super cartoony. Guy under the hat, like Remy from Ratatouille. Giant platypus chef. I'm going to post a picture of a baby platypus in chat that I think might be AI. I'm fairly certain this is AI, but it's really cute. $100% this has to be AI. If only because the Facebook post that it's from is like, this is 100% real. It's like, I don't believe you. I do not believe you. I think that is a lie. A platypus baby. Oh my god. Apparently there's a whole bunch of people making baby platypus AI art because people don't know what baby platypuses look like. And that's really funny to me. Okay. I think I gotta call it there. It's 2:30, 2:40 almost. So I think we're gonna call it there for the day. I'm gonna post these in the Discord chat as always. If you didn't get your stuff drawn today, I do apologize. I'll put up another post on Monday so people can suggest new things next week. We'll try to do another draw on Wednesday and Friday again. I'd like to get more stuff done during the week. This has been a weird week, partially because of my sister visiting and partially just because of life in general. But I'm going to try to start dual streaming again on YouTube and Twitch as soon as my internet is fixed. So hopefully that'll happen here in the next month. And then we can start doing Twitch streams on Tuesday, Thursday. And maybe do some Discord stuff on Monday. So I might be in the Discord just drawing and hanging out on Monday if you want to come hang out. Awesome. If not, I'll put a post up on YouTube so you can suggest your things. And we'll see everybody next week on Wednesday. Oh, Corvus just popped in. Welcome in. We're just about
Don't continue stream on my part.
Okay. Oh, we're going to call it. Thanks for popping in. Stay happy, everybody. Stay happy, stay healthy. Keep your dice on the table. We'll catch y'all next week. Bye, everyone.